following is a conversation with Priyank Dubey bhaiya. He's a physics major at IISER Berhampur, and he has done a few internships in his first year, second year, and third year, and he has a few research papers pending for review, and also has a patent. So be sure to check the podcast through to the end, and there's also a rapid fire for you. So make sure you check that out. And if you watch the video to the end and learn something and enjoy and have any doubts, please let me know down in the comments below. I really appreciate it, and I would be happy to answer it. Let's get started.
Oh, hi.
So hi, how are you?
Fine, done with exams. Similar like you.
Yeah, that's great. So it's a pleasure to have you here today. And after such a long delay, we had to postpone this. I was kind of bummed about it, but that's good. So let's get started, okay? So tell me
Yeah.
what all internships that you have done and how did you apply at those internships?
Yeah. I would answer this question like yearly. So in the first year, like I applied to IIT Mumbai. As from the very beginning, I was really interested into aerospace engineering. But also I liked physics so much. So it was literally a tough decision for me to go for physics instead of aerospace engineering. So but aerospace engineering was there. So initially, like in my first year, I applied to IIT Mumbai, and there I managed to get an internship under Professor Arkipal. So and as well as like IIT Kharagpur also. So into these two places I got internship, but again due to COVID, it was there, but not effectively like that what I was expecting. So yeah, first year was this, and like in the next year, second year, I tried for DRDO, and I got into DRDO, this CAIR. So, but it was about to start from this May, and the time was Feb at that time. So like I wanted to work because I was getting too much bored in the house. So like I asked to a professor in IIT Kanpur that sir, could I work on something, and I got into this internship in DRDO. So on May I will be going there. So this is for just span of 2 months. So I went to IIT Kanpur, and literally I like the work so much that it is my research area right now. So this the work is in spacecraft attitude, dynamics, and control. So there I worked on a hardware. They were working on some project for ISRO. So like I worked on that project and liked so much. Also, like professor saw this, like I have a great interest, and he asked me like if you could stay here, so then it will be good. Although you could like do your DRDO project online, because again the COVID came, second wave of COVID came. So I stayed there and did the like my DRDO project only from there. So but the work there was like, and on Kanpur it was going fine. So yeah, second year was that, and other than that, like I got into aerospace this month. So like in DRDO in Mass, it is a lab in Delhi. So there also I tried to get some project on human machine interaction, specifically for aerospace vehicle.
Right.
And like after that, like I did the work in DRDO on this speech recognition system for accents. So like I wanted to do something in that field more. So I got into this NTU Singapore. So there they were using like GANs to generate deep fake audio. So there also I did some work, but like I got heavily burdened because this exam was approaching. So I have to pause that. I think, yeah, that's it. I did this
Right.
much of
I can see the
internship.
glow on your face when you're talking about this internship that you really enjoyed all the work there. So how did you
Yeah.
approach the professor? How did you approach them actually? That's what people would, want to know.
So like first year, just like you, but first year, what I did, I started something on my own here at college, and like I was very lucky to have Harris Bhaiya. So he was my super senior. So I told him that I wanted to work in this and this. So he was quite excited, and he supported me a lot. So I did something here in my college, sort of project, and like then I mentioned about that project and applied to IIT Mumbai. So I applied at 8 p.m. in the night, And in the like morning 8 a.m., I got a call from IIT Mumbai that yeah, I saw your this internship request. So what have you done and what do you know? Like what softwares have you worked on and do you know this integration, etc. So it was sort of like intro and yeah, it was interesting.
So you found his mail through his IIT Bombay's website, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So keep checking for
actually,
websites.
like website, then if you want to like dive deep into something, then you have to be self-aware. You have to be aware of that, like where this work is going on. And although this specifically about aerospace, there are very few IIT, I think, where this is aerospace is the branch. So you have to keep checking on them.
Ah,
This is the
some of the
like
yeah.
basic layman
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so some of the students just wait that the college will send them some mail, that there is an internship opening. Would you like to apply? And then they will apply. They don't, try to do for it, themselves. So that's a problem. They should be, self-sufficiently trying to delve into that. Keep it.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. You just said that, when you applied at NTU Singapore, you had problem with your NSEM as you were getting burdened. So how the overall, internship experience affect your academics? Like, did it have a downside?
Yeah, like it has positive as well as downside. So, like initially when I started working on, so I think if you are interested into something, then you could manage. And like in the end, then now if I talk about this time particularly, so I have to drop my project at NTU because I can't do so many things. So like you have to see what to keep and what not to keep. Look, you will get burdened, overburdened.
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to go for it, then you'll get burdened. But if you're, like, you can manage if you want to. Definitely,
Yeah,
you'll have
exactly. Yeah.
plenty of time. Definitely. You said that the professor asked you what all softwares you used. So what was the software
Yeah.
like? Did you learn MATLAB or something like that?
And in the first year, like it was like in the first year, so at that time, I definitely don't know MATLAB. So at that time, what I know, like basic, you know, fabrication of electronic sensors and this Arduino, like microcontroller sort of stuff. And yeah, this was the thing which I have worked on project here also at IISER Berhampur. So yeah, these only things I told him that I know this and this. He was okay, okay. Because if
Right,
you are
right.
mentioning something in your like letter, then you should have a knowledge about that. You can't just go and lie that I know everything and other day professor will call you and get to know what you know and what you don't
Yeah,
know.
they're gonna find out.
Be
Yeah, it's not
honest.
gonna, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
If you're trying to show off that I know all this, and then they then they
yeah,
find out, it's going to be embarrassing for you and everybody. So that's something
very
you should,
much.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what softwares did you learn while you were, doing the internship?
So, like talking about this software, uh, MATLAB, Simulink, this and Blender 3D CAD modeling. Because if you are working on some problem, then you have to do from basic design to the like control part and even the result part. So, like MATLAB, Simulink, Blender CAD modeling, this ROS robot operating system, and like Python is basic necessity. So yeah, I think, and LaTeX is also very basic for research. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, LaTeX is something that everybody should just start from the first year. Like if they're waiting that when we'll write
Exactly.
resource paper, then we learn it, then that's a mistake. They should definitely, yeah, start,
Yeah.
for any profession. So how did you make your CV? Like that's very important. People just keep asking how to make a CV. Even in any interview I see, they just keep asking how to make a CV and should I download a template and then start making CV? How did you do it?
So like I think there are like two parts of this problem because if you are in initial years of your study, then you don't have very much to write on your CV. But if you are like at some stage, then you have too much to write on your CV. So like I will first talk about the initial stage. So initially, whatever the project you have done, you should mention your project without any support from institute or some professor. So you could mention that projects And like apart from basic things like your education and like your research interest and like your project, still there will be some gap left. So where there, what you could write, you could write about the courses, key courses taken. So like key courses taken, and if you have been to like any workshop, that also you could mention. And like, yeah, like key courses, workshops, and this project is, I find project very necessary. Like in a CV, what professor looks for, that what type of work you have done, and could you like manage to do something on your own without like any that much guidance, like, you understand? So that this is the first scenario. And second scenario is that when you have too much to write on and you have worked on a variety of projects, so like definitely you can't write everything on the CV because it will be very much, and like professor will not give a read to it, or he may. So you have to again pick the these projects which are like related to that fields which are you are applying for. So yeah, this first scenario I find it very tough, and even with me also in my first year.
It's like a selection approach. You can't put everything in there. You have to be selective about what's the best and most suitable thing that the professor would be, interested in. That, yeah, you can actually select in what you've done and what you find important to be added to a CV. So what should one not add in a CV? Like some people, you know, what should they not add in a CV?
Like again, like it's depend on the like program which you are applying for. And like if you are applying for certain discipline, then I think only the things which are relevant to that program or discipline, that only you should mention. And personally, I think that you know it's my personal approach that I don't mention about my like personality. Like sometimes I have seen in some of the series that they mention the quality, honesty, punctuality. Although these are very good, so like, but I find it little awkward because if you are applying for some sort of scientific thing, then maybe it may be useful or not. But yeah, this is again like, my perspectives and others' perspectives. So if you have something, then write relevantly and keep it very short and concise as much as possible.
So that thing about honesty, that's more like a personal approach for you. So if someone does it in a
Yeah, yeah,
personalized and honest way, like, right, if they make a CV that is not too shiny and it's just to the point, and so that the professor finds it's appealing, then it's just fine.
yeah,
Even if you're in a first year, just be honest. Honesty is the key here. Be
exactly.
honest. Don't write that you're honest. They'll see it through that.
Yeah, yeah. They have to infer from your CV that this is a genuine person, and if I hire him or like I give the internship, then he will like make use out of it.
Yeah. So were any of those internships paid?
Yeah, like in my first year, it wasn't paid, and DRDO also don't pay, and like, but in the IIT Kanpur, yeah, they pay. They like professor paid, and it was from the project, so definitely he can pay.
But when you're getting an internship in the first year in DRDO, you don't need to get paid. It's just the experience that you are craving for here. So
Exactly. Like
exactly, yeah.
every time, like it's not about DRD or some other agency, but if you are applying for internship, that this money shouldn't come to your mind because it's secondary thing. First, what the primary thing you are applying for is the research experience and research exposure. So money should never matter. And like if you are definitely like you can't manage and you are he calls you there, he or she calls you there, so then, if you can't manage, then you could ask for money also. And I think that most of the professor will definitely arrange for that. So they
Yeah,
already know
yeah.
because they have been in this phase, so they know like what are the requirements and needs.
Yeah. The moment the primary agenda becomes earning money through an internship, that's an issue. So I have a few rapid fire questions that my batchmates would like to ask you.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So how many hours do you study every day?
Now I study like because this NSEM was going on, so I have to study like I don't know what other things I do, but I keep on studying. I don't count the hours exactly, but I have to study for whole day. But like when you have something interesting going on, like if I talk about my second year or first year, so like I study the subjects to some extent so that I shouldn't be lagging behind in the class. And but like other time I used to do the things which is interesting to me and study about aerospace, because if you want to go into some field, then you should have knowledge about that, right? So not in arts, I don't want to mention in arts, but yeah, like study and food and like study, food and play. These three are the things which we have to do.
Yeah, it's not even important to put a number on how many hours you study. It's how good you
Yeah,
study, right? How much you can learn. That's
yeah,
important. And then if you're getting tired, like I study physics, whenever I study physics and get tired, I simply do something that makes more sense and gives me a relaxation, and then I can go back to physics, and do it more effectively. Favorite book, which is a favorite book, one book.
one favorite book, like S.C. Verma was my favorite. Honestly, like I like that book very much from my
Uh,
JE times. So I used to go through it again and again.
Yeah, this is an honest to God nerdy answer. जो भी expect कर रहे थे Hamlet या Shakespeare type, don't be disappointed.
No, no. I'm not
Uh,
that much of a literature person. Although I want to listen, I want to read, but like at some point I have to shift back to physics or science, because
uh,
I can't like just propagate on some, it's my personal perspective again. Like so, I can't go in some fantasy world. I can't imagine you know. Uh, okay, I will stop here. Otherwise, I could go on.
yeah. To what extent do physicists make fun of mathematicians? How far is this?
No, I really like for me particularly, like mathematics was the challenge. Even in my like JE days and for the 2 years also, I barely like managed to get through mathematics. But I find it very interesting, and I have a lot of respect for the people who took maths as their major. So now also, like even in my batch, you could ask from the mathematics person, I respect them a lot. And we do, I personally don't have that much courage or dare to like make fun of them, because they, if they come and give you some question, then it will take even not even days, months to solve it.
I can agree. Yeah, yeah. Their purity
Yeah,
and mathematical approach would be like, how can you do this? Like proof इसका existence कैसे होता है? अब चलो real numbers
exactly.
prove करके दिखाओ हमको.
Exactly. And they have to think like, they have to think in intuitive way. Like we could connect our like, if personally about physics, so like most of the phenomena we could connect to some physical world, but they don't have any now. So after they develop some mathematics, then physics will follow. Okay, this was the mathematics, and from based on this mathematics, we could define something physically, right?
Yeah, it's more
So
like
they are
abstract world उनके
far
लिए पूरा का
forward.
पूरा.
Yeah.
They're fast
Yeah.
forwarded. Yeah, उनसे उनका existence पूछना is a crime. Okay, guys.
Respect plus plus.
Okay. Now this is a very serious question. Okay, people are asking IIT versus IISER.
Oh God. So yeah, IIT, I have like seen persons from engineering background and like as well as from physics background also. I know a senior who did his BSMS integration, BSMS integrated degree in physics only from IIT Kanpur. So like yeah, I think in if it comes to research, then we stand on the same platform, and like we have some plus point than IIT. Although like yeah, it's still, but I can definitely tell that we stand on the same platform as IIT in the terms of research and basic science, and we don't have engineering science, so better not talk about engineering. But yeah, so if it comes to research and you want to go in pure science, then yeah, IISER and IIT are at the same place. And like what matters, it's not the name, it's the research only. So we could do some research better than them, or they could do. It's again our research community. So we couldn't compare among ourselves only, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's very appreciable and that's a good thing to think about. ऐसे compare करने वाला तो कोई sense ही नहीं है. तो scientific community में you start comparing, that makes no sense. Yeah, we are here
Yeah.
not to divide, but simply to join together and endeavor in the scientific world. So that makes a definite sense. So this brings us to the end of this conversation. Time flew by, relativity in point, and I had such a great time, discussing everything with you. And I hope to see you offline. And
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah. And
joining me
like
for this conversation.
yeah, I would like to add here, like, really, I appreciate your effort and like time you are dedicating to this thing I was talking about, right? If you manage to do something on your own, then you could do anything. So, like, Sagar, I really appreciate your effort, and I'm really excited to meet you in the like upcoming days, and definitely, like, we will work together. I
Me
really
too.
enjoyed this conversation a lot.
Definitely, definitely. I'm excited, double excited now. Like offline मिलेंगे तो बहुत
Yeah,
मजा आएगा.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Bye then. Have a great day.
Bye, bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.